You know, there's a bunch of reasons why men don't or won't make a relationship commitment, and I bet you think you've heard all of them by now, right? But here's the thing, most of those guys are just avoiding telling you the real truth. Today, you're going to find out the number one brutally honest reason why men won't commit to you. And I'll sneak in a few more tips to show you how to get him to make that commitment. Hey, it's Carlos Cavallo from datingfire.com and datingadviceguru.com. Welcome back to the dating and relationship secrets you need to know. First of all, let's recognize that there are two kinds of reasons here. Two. The first kind is the reason that he gives you for not committing. The second kind is the reason he never tells you, but it's the real reason why he won't commit to you. You see, men give you a lot of reasons that simply aren't true, and they know that they're not true. In the same way that you would give a man a reason for not going out on a date with him. Would you ever tell him the real reason? Yeah, you're trying to be nice about it. But if we're being truthful here, you're being nice so that you don't look like a bad person or a heartless, mean woman rejecting him. You're being sensitive to his feelings, which is good. Now, one reason you'll hear from a man that he says why he won't commit is that the timing just isn't right. But this one you really got to think about. Would you ever refuse a winning lottery ticket just because it came at the wrong time? Would you ever turn down a totally delicious meal just because it wasn't exactly dinner time? You get my point here, right? Of course, there are times when something doesn't work out, but if you really want it, you're going to make the time for it. You're going to take it, especially if you feel that it benefits you. If a relationship benefits him, he will jump at it. And he will jump to make the commitment. If he doesn't, he isn't seeing the benefit. Now, another reason he might give you that you might hear from a guy is that he's really busy, he doesn't have time for a relationship. You might also hear another flavor of this where his lifestyle is just too complicated or something like that. This is another situation where you have to question the reasoning. You mean you want to believe that reason, right? When you or anyone turns down would you ever turn down a loving, intimate relationship in exchange for more time at work? Come on. Or because it complicates your schedule a little bit? No, you'd never turn it down. That's just an excuse. Remember that everything is a priority in a man's life, including a relationship, including you. So don't fall into the trap of wanting to believe whatever excuse he gives you just because he's not saying what you really want to hear, or he is saying something that you might actually be afraid of hearing. When I come back to this one, just hang on, because this is going to be worth coming back to. Now, another reason a guy gives you is because he was hurt really bad in his last relationship. Oh my God, if I heard this one 1,000 times. Well, from women telling me they hear it 1,000 times. Sure, if you experience some pain from a previous relationship that went bad, that might make you to be a little bit shy and hesitant. But again, let's be real here. If you had bad luck with the last few cars you bought, that doesn't mean you stop driving cars. It simply means you get smarter about buying cars. Seek connection through relationships, right? This is what gives life meaning on so many levels. We're not meant to live alone or to exist in isolation. Guys like to use this particular excuse because they know it typically won't get questioned by their girlfriend or their partner. Now, you should be discriminating and really look at what happened in his past relationships. Make sure he isn't actually still hung up on his past partner. If he seems to have let her go in his heart, then this is probably just an excuse to avoid commitment. Keep in mind, you are always trying to avoid hearing him say one thing. There's one excuse that you are trying to avoid hearing from him. Do you know what it is? I'm going to tell you in just a minute. Hey, are you having problems getting a commitment from him? Well, the first thing you have to do is know if he really loves you. If you want to find out, I've got a new quiz you can take. Go on over to datingfire.com/does he love you. That's datingfire.com/does he love you? All right, don't worry, we're getting closer to that real reason that men won't make a commitment, but it's actually really important that we go through these other reasons so you understand how they fit into the big picture. So another reason that you might hear from him is one that you might invent. This one's going to be painful to hear. Now, you might think, this relationship is so good, it's scaring him away. Nope, sorry, that doesn't happen. It's very rare that someone talks themselves out of a loving relationship just because they're afraid of falling in love. It's only in movies that someone proclaims, "You're just too sexy and irresistible. I can't be near you." Now, usually this is a woman in an old-time movie, like an old black and white movie. And this woman understands that it's like throwing a challenge down in front of a man. When you see something like that, that's actually challenging. The funny part is that when a man does this to a woman, it works the exact same way. It actually makes you work 10 times as hard to win him over. If only I could overcome his resistance, he'd see that I'm a woman with a heart of gold that will save him. Yada, yada, yada. Unfortunately, this reason is just a confabulation. Now, confabulation is where you make up reasons that sound good to the thinking brain, but they're really not true. Or they let you off the hook in some way. And that's what you're doing. That's exactly what you're doing if you use that particular excuse. If a man finds a relationship that is truly stunning and spectacular, he's going to work his ass off to keep it and treasure it. He's going to treasure it like the price that it is. Never forget that. Another form of this excuse is when you think, he doesn't deserve me. Yeah, let's be honest here. You say this because you're secretly heartbroken inside. And while it sounds like a really clever, you go girl rally for your self-esteem, the truth is that it's extreme denial. Don't declare that you're better than him as a defense mechanism. Trying to make yourself feel superior just to calm your hurt feelings is a dangerous kind of self-delusion. Just accept the fact that he didn't dig you. He wasn't into you. He wasn't into the relationship as much as you were. It doesn't actually reflect on your value as a person unless you let it. So I mentioned before, what reason could a man give you that you don't want to hear? Well, it's very simple. You don't want to hear he doesn't feel the same way about you as you feel about him. That's it, okay? This is the same for just about everybody on the planet, by the way, so don't be shocked there. No man or woman wants to hear that their feelings are not mutual with the object of their desire. When you get right down to the core, no one wants to hear that their feelings are not reciprocated, and it makes total sense after all. Now, this isn't the number one brutal reason that I was telling you about that he won't commit to you. It's simply the reason that you're going to try and avoid hearing, okay? And you have to know that. You have to know that this is going on so you don't fool yourself. The biggest challenge you have as a woman is that you will invent a reason for yourself that is not true. And then you'll use that reason to blind you from the truth, and then never make the changes that actually could lead you to true love and happiness. Hey, I'm the guy to give you that tough love here, okay? So let's keep going with the next reason that might fool you. Another reason that he says he won't make a commitment is he tells you he wants to take it slow. Oh, God. Yeah, sure, taking it slow sounds smart, right? After all, you would probably say the same thing to him if you weren't all that into him. When somebody tells you they want to take it slow, particularly a guy, that just means that you were a better than nothing. You're okay until the next better woman that he's really looking for comes along. As someone once said, it's like renting an apartment while you wait for the right house to come on the market. Hey, before you get so caught up in all these wonderful tips that I'm giving you, help support the channel. Click subscribe and then turn on the notifications. You can get these tips every week and never miss out. Plus, you'll be helping support the channel, and that's really just a nice human thing to do. So go do it. All right, you stuck with me for this far, so let's reveal the number one brutally honest reason why men don't commit. And I got a little bit more to talk about after it, so stick around. Are you ready for it? Okay, here it is. The number one brutally honest reason why men don't commit is because you haven't given him a clear sign that this relationship is the prize he's always wanted and would fight for. Ultimately, he's scared of getting trapped in a relationship that's comfortable but not fantastic. Let me say that again, it's important. He's ultimately scared of just being trapped in a relationship that is comfortable but not his dream relationship. That's it. A man is waiting for that undeniable signal that tells him he's won the prize. He's finally gotten the prize he's always wanted. That you're the woman that any man would fight for. And that he has emerged victorious to have won your heart. And usually this is because you never gave him enough challenge to make him feel like winning you was an actual victory. Well, that one's going to hurt, isn't it? Deep down inside, every single man has known a relationship where he got into it with the best of intentions, but then he realized he only did it because he wanted the sex. Men have an undeniable physical need. It's a requirement for sex. This is how we differ from women radically. You don't have that exact same need. You're not driven biologically by it. He got into the relationship for sex, and then he realized what he did. Whoops. He usually realizes this when he runs into another woman who meets his needs a little bit closer, a little bit better, and then he realized, oh my God, I did her wrong, I settled. And the funny part is that women, well, I wouldn't call it funny, okay, but it's kind of the interesting part is that women do the exact same thing, only for a different reason. You see, you might jump into a relationship to avoid loneliness or to complete your idea of a fulfilled life, but you wind up pursuing a man simply because you think you can change him and mold him into the man you want. Now, all of this has sounded really gloomy in some respects. You might say, Carlos, are you saying that I'm doomed to chasing the wrong man forever? That men don't want relationships, that they don't want commitment? Of course I'm not saying that. There's millions and billions of people that are married today. What I'm telling you is that you can't afford to blind yourself with self-delusion. The reason we tell ourselves stories about why a person won't jump into the same love that we feel is because we feel helpless at getting them to feel the same love, right? You want them to reciprocate, but you don't feel like you have that power. You gotta just roll the dice. Well, what if you could get him to share in your feelings? What if you could get almost any man to open up to you, to commit to you? What if it really is just a skill you learn? Well, the truth is that it is something you can learn. I managed to isolate the psychology of men so that you can understand what makes one man commit over and another one won't, so that you can finally get him to stop giving you excuses and see you as the one for him. Remember, he's scared of getting trapped in a relationship that's comfortable but not fantastic, and only you can show him that this relationship will be fantastic. If you want to understand the secrets of commitment, you need to understand the Cupid effect. The Cupid effect is how you do get him to stop resisting and to fall completely and madly in love with you. If you want to discover the secrets, I've put it together. This is called the Cupid effect. Go on over to datingfire.com/Cupid. That's datingfire.com/Cupid. Look, it's the only way you're really going to understand guys well enough to get that immediate reciprocation of love that you want from these guys. So go learn. It's the easiest way to turn your love life around. Hey, before you go, wait a minute. If you're new here, or even if you're not, why don't you do the big three? Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Get this stuff every week. Turn on notifications. So click that bell icon so you get notified when I release more of these awesome videos. And if you're already subscribed, by the way, please share it with somebody that you know. You got to spread the word. Unfortunately, YouTube is making it difficult for guys like me to be seen and our advice to get out there. So share it with somebody. And of course, number 3, comment below. Do you agree with the tips? Is there more that you want? Do you want more clarifications? Just make a comment below. And hey, don't forget, wait a few more minutes and seconds, actually. I'm going to put another video right here for you to watch. This is Carlos Cavallo. As always, live and love with passion.